Hola guys and girls, and welcome to the GBA Week 8 Team Builder. We are facing off against Chimpact and his Philadelphia Scizors. Definitely a scary matchup, since not only Chimpact is doing very well this season so far, he is one of the top 4 contenders in the league, and top 3 even. Like, he's changing spots with MV Jolt all the time on who's like in the power rankings, who's first, who's second, who's third. He is in that mishmash of top tier players in the GBA so far, and yeah, we have battle ahead versus him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, to defeat him and prove that we are, yeah, basically as well one of the top tier threats in the GBA. But yeah, for that, of course, we will have to defeat him. This is our out of conference match, so this is actually in the overall playoff race, one of the least important matches, one of the 2 least important matches we can have in the season. Basically, the other out of conference match was of course the week 1 match, which of course is a bit more important because it's week 1, I want to say. So it's like, just playoff race wise, it's probably the least important match, but matchup wise and just proving ground wise, this is one of the more important matches. So I'm definitely looking forward to defeating him, especially since I faced him once last season, in which I actually lost because yeah, because of the speed creep gate. I don't know if you remember that. I sped trapped a certain amount, and back then Chimp didn't bother the speed creeping, so he did outspeed me, and that's why I lost the game. So yeah, I still have basically something open with our boy Chimpact right here. Definitely want to win to tie our record. We can't have people running around which have a 100% win record versus us. That's no bueno. So yeah, this additional motivation, of course, to win this game. But let's go over this team real quick, which is of course one big reason on why he's doing so well so far. So going all that, he got the Tapu Bulu, the Greninja, Nihilego, Yuxi, Camel, Ferrothorn, Zygarde 10%, Drifloon, Slurpuff, Scrafty, and Victini. His 2 Z-move users being the Greninja and the Nihilego. He actually made some Z-point changes. Like, he got Z-points from someone. That's why he has 2 bigger, more threatening Z-captains in comparison to other coaches. But either way, very threatening team. And one thing I noticed, like, he has a lot of threats on the team. Like, don't get me wrong, he has Nihilego, he has Greninja, he has Bulu, he has Victini, he has Camel potentially, he has Zygarde 10%, which is doing very well so far in the season. So there are a lot of threats on this team. But the biggest problem I had in team building is that this team has very, I want to say, unique threats, and I explain what that means. Basically, every mon he had needs a specific, it's not uncounterable. I have mons which check them, but they need rather specific spreads and stuff like that to be able to check them. And since it's so specific, it would be there only for that, and another threat would beat that. Like, I'm a good check to this, but I'm not a good another check to another mon. So basically, if I want to check all the threats on Chimp's team, I would have to bring 6 different mons, 6 defensive mons, to actually have switches to everything and be able to check everything. And that is of course no bueno. You don't want to have 6 defensive mons. You want to have some offense on your own, especially since I have some mons which match up very well offensively versus Chimp's team. So it is a bit of a struggle to build team build properly for him. You have to, like, kind of predict what he brings and what you want to prepare less for, what you prepare more for. Because if I want to try to prepare for everything, then I'm a bit of trouble. So that's one problem I noticed in team building. So biggest threats, they're like I said, because of that, they are like no overall biggest threats versus my team. It just depends on what I actually end up bringing, and then I can say, okay, that is the biggest threat versus this variant of team I'm bringing. But of course, like I said, the big threats, of course, Bulu, Greninja, Nihilego, the Camel, potentially, if it actually comes. I'm still suspect if it's actually ever going to come to a game. Then, of course, the Zygarde 10% and the Victini. And the Slurpuff, of course. He got the Slurpuff from Geo. And if you remember the time I battled Geo, Slurpuff was one of the huge threats with our team. And he got that as well. So, that's a big problem. One thing to note is, of course, he does not have any hazard removal. Actually, looking at his team, I don't... Drifloon probably gets defog. I'm not sure about that. But it's a Drifloon. And it's probably not coming to too many matches. But other than that, he has like no hazard removal at all on his team. So far he didn't have to use it, since he is usually one stacking with either Toxic Spikes on Nihilego, Spikes on Greninja, Sticky Web on Slurpuff, and Rocks on a bunch of mons, Lyria Spikes on Ferrothorn as well. So usually he is the one spike stacking, so he's never motivated to even click defog or something like that. Usually that's the opponent has to do. So it's not really too big a weakness. His team is not too hazard weak, so I can see that. But that's definitely one thing to note, and yeah, that's basically his team. Like I said, I have to worry about, he's using Nihilego especially well. It's like one of the top tier mons in the race of mons, in the kill leader. There we go, that's a kill board, whatever you want to call it. So we have to be wary of that. Like, that's one reason why I've, for example, more definitely prepared for Nihilego more than other mons I mentioned. But yeah, either way, that's enough of his team. Now let's go over mine. So first up, we got Mega Manectric, our good boy with Volt Switch, Flamethrower, Ice Fang, and Hidden Power Water. So fancy investment, fancy moveset, enough speed of course to outspeed Greninja, which is his fastest non-scarfable mon. I didn't want to run max speed, because I could run pretty max speed to outspeed the Scarf Scrafty. But looking at Team Scarf Scrafty doesn't really make sense, same with Dragon Dance Scrafty. I'm more scared of, for example, a Scarf Tapu Bulu, which I wouldn't be able to outspeed even with max speed. So I just have enough speed for the Greninja, then max special attack, and then enough attack investments so I actually can deal with Ice Fang. So why do I have Ice Fang and not Hidden Power Ice? That's because he has 2 ground types and both have their viability to come. And so I had to prepare for both. I don't think both will actually come. I think it's only going to be one of the two. Like, I don't expect no one will come because then I can Volt Switch freely. But one of the two is definitely going to come, and I had to prepared for both. Hidden Power Water, of course, for the Mega Camera, does a button of damage, does 4 times weak to that. If he doesn't Mega Evolve, he doesn't have Solid Rock, and it does, like, after one Spikes switch in, he is dead to Hidden Power Water, or like one Rock switch in is even enough as well, since it's neutral to Rocks, being Ground and Fire type. And then Ice Fang is there, of course, for the other Ground type, which is the Zygarde 10%. Functionally, it's a very squishy ground type and 4 times weak to ice, so Ice Fang does a butt of damage. With this investment, once again, that is enough to OHKO Zygarde 10% after 1 Spike switch in, or of course 2 Rock switch-ins, and then the rest a little bit in bulk against the HP and defense. But yeah, that's the variant of Mega Manectric. It does very well as team, outspeed everything, does a lot of damage, then a Flamethrower, of course, and stuff like the Ferrophone. Don't run Overheat to drop my defenses, but yeah, he needs a Scarfer to revenge kill this. He has a decent amount of priority. He has, for example, a Water Shuriken and Greninja, which I don't expect Reach to come, but we can talk about that later once we talk about another one of my team. And other than that, he got nothing. So wait, never mind. Did I say X3 speed on Zygarde? Of course, yeah, that's what I more expect on priority. That he brings X3 speed on Zygarde. That's why I didn't want to be minus per def. And of course, Intimidate. Once I Mega Evolve, I can deal with some more physical attacks than I can special attacks either way. But yeah, that's my Manectric right here. Basically, just be fast, be a revenge killer, and be potentially even a sweeper, depending if he doesn't have any Scarfers or the Scarfer's dead. But yeah, that's basically Manectric right here. I decided for Volt Switch or Thunderbolt, but usually it's more important to have momentum than having a powerful stab move. And yeah, that's why I have Volt Switch or Thunderbolt, because if I had to decide Volt Switch or Thunderbolt, I always go Volt Switch, like I already saw with other matches. But yeah, that's my Manectric for you. Next up, we got Chad, our Rocky Helmet Garbodor, making his first time appearance in the GBA with Gunk Shot, Drain Punch, Pain Split, and Spikes. Physically defensive with enough speed to outspeed a no-speed Yuxi. So this is of course here for once the Slurper, and another thing, it's a good check to the the Tapu Bulu as well, taking the hits from that and OHKOing potentially with Gunk Shot. Then a Drain Punch as like my option to hit the Ferrophone as well, and then Spikes, because like I mentioned, I talked about Spike damage, and he has no hazard removal, so I want to Spike stack him as well. If he wants to stack me as well, I stack him too, and we can see basically who can deal better with the hazards of the opponent. Then Pain Split for a little bit of recovery, since the speed tiers are a bit weird. I have only enough speed for no speed Yuxi, but basically I probably will outspeed the Tapu Bulu as well. Because of how my speed tiers work and how the speed of Tapu Bulu, it doesn't make sense for Tapu Bulu to run a lot of speed, barring the Scarf. Then of course it does make sense to run a lot of speed. But that means I can potentially outspeed the Tapu Bulu as well. And if I outspeed the Yuxi, I can, for example, go for Pain Split before he can hit me with a move and get a lot of recovery back and all this good stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. Gunk Shot, very strong stab. Drain Punch gives me a little bit of recovery. Then I have Rocky Helmet, because I want to wear down stuff like the Victini potentially. Like if he is locked in, like his Scarf, and he's locked into what you call V-Crate or U-Turn or something like that, and I can get some Rocky Helmet damage on him. And in general, it helps with the Bulu as well, so he doesn't recover too much from the Horn Leech versus me. And of course, once Grassy Terrain is up, since it's my main switch into the Bulu, I of course basically have, quote unquote, I have leftovers basically through the Grassy Terrain. But other than that, that's my Garbodor. It's mainly there for the Bulu. There's a decent amount to, there's a decent check to the Slurpuff as well. But like I said, Slurpuff I'm more unsure to come. The Tapu Bulu is like definitely coming. So yeah, that's what Garbodor for you. Next up, we got Walnut, our max HP speedy Tapu Fini once again. I run this a lot speedy with max HP because I want to utilize the speed, I want to utilize the bulk, and then the offense is kind of lacking. But yeah, we have 4 attacks: Move Blast, Surf, Nature's Madness, and Hidden Power 5 with the Cabia Berry. This is enough speed for a max speed Tapu Bulu actually. So if he brings the Tapu Bulu, then I can still outspeed it. And then we have Move Blast, Surf, Double Stab, does very well with his team, barring one mon, which is the Fairphone, and that's why I think Power Fire as well, and Nature's Madness just to do over more damage, because there's a good chance that he might bring an Assault Vest to Tabulu, in which case Ice Beam was a good option, but overall Nature's Madness is better, and if he's a fully split dev Fairphone, which I'm expecting if he brings Fairphone, because physically defensive Fairphone doesn't do too well versus my team, like split dev would do well versus Fini, it would do well versus Kyurem, so that's why I expect him more especially defensive, and that means Hidden Power Fire does not do too much, even though it's 4 times weak to it, of course, and Nature's Madness would on the first 1 or 2, depending on his investment, would do more than Hidden Power Fire. But I want something to deal with it, because if I have, before I had a lot of, I had Ice Beam there, I had Knockoff there, Defog there, in the end of the Hidden Power Fire is the best option to have there, just to surprise the Fairphone. Like the first few turns I would probably not click it, I would most go for Nature's Madness, but at one point I can click the Hidden Power Fire, kill the Fairphone, that would be awesome. Because Fairphone is a bit annoying with potentially having the Spike Stack option versus us, and if you can stop that, it would be great. And then I have the Carry Barrier, of course, for the Gunk Shot on the potential Greninja. Not that much there for the potential Sludge Wave on like Neolego. That's doing way too much damage from either way. It's more for the Gunk Shot on the Greninja, and I'm expecting very much a physical Greninja. That's why I already mentioned when I'm not expecting the Water Shuriken variant, because he like to hit a lot of my team. He needs Gunk Shot, of course, to top of Fini, and he needs Low Kick for the Kyurem. These are like 2 very good moves, and then he wants U-turn for momentum, and then you already have 3 physical moves. Why not go fully physical and put Waterfall on that as main stab? So that is like a very nice set I could see on his part, like Waterfall, Low Kick, Gunk Shot, U-turn with, for example, Expert Belt or Life Orb or Z or something like that. That's why I'm not expecting Water Shuriken on him, but that's why I have to have the Carry Barrier, because if he's fully physical offensive with like boosting item, even it does way too much with my Fini, and I need the Carry Barrier to be able to deal with that and Oko with a Moonblast, because thankfully it is not Protein, so once he goes for Gunk Shot, he's still a Water Dark type, and I can KO him with Moonblast. So yeah, that's basically Fini for you. Next up, we got Chip, which I'll Assault as a Crocodile with Intimidate, which is for 2 months, basically. It's very nice for the Victini, but mainly there for the Neolego with Earthquake, Knockoff, Pursuit, and the Fire Fang. And this is there to switch into the Neolego, take all the hits basically with the Assault Vest. He needs to predict me, first of all, to switch in, and then we'll have to have a Z, Grass Knot, or Dazzling Gleam. Both does the same damage. Grass Knot is actually 80 base power versus me. And both have their viabilities, like, I don't really know what the 2 he would run, because both moves would only be there for the Crocodile. Dazzling Gleam, of course, hits the Kyurem as well, but for that he has Power Gem. Grass Knot, of course, hits the Fini as well, but for that he has Poison moves. So I'm not really unsure what he would bring. Like, both are resisted by close to the same mons. So it's a toss-up, but it basically doesn't matter, so I couldn't decide which berry I want to run on Crocodile, like the Grass Berry, Rindo Berry, or the Roselli Berry for Dazzling Gleam. So I had to go with like a middle way option, which was Bulky Assault Vest. To deal that. Of course, I resist already a Dual Stab, being a Rock and Poison because I'm a ground type, and I can Oko him back with an Earthquake. Pursuit is dead, Pursuit from him, of course, then Knockoff for Utility, and Fire Fang for stuff like the Bulu, which resists both my stab options and for the Fairphone. At first, I had the Sludge Bomb there, but with Sludge Bomb I need either minus Def or minus Defense, or even minus Attack Nature. I definitely don't want to be minus Attack, because I need Pursuit and Knockoff for the Neolego. If I'm minus Defense, the Victini can potentially get a bigger problem. If I minus Spadef, that of course would defeat the whole purpose of having a Spadef Crocodile Assault Vest. I could be minus speed as well, but I want to have enough speed for, once again, outspeeding a max speed type of Bulu, so I guaranteed outspeed that. And yeah, that's why in this set I decided not to have Sludge Bomb for the Bulu, and I decided rather have Fire Fang. It does hit the Fairphone harder, of course Sludge Bomb would be immune to that, and it does a good amount of damage to the Bulu as well, because like I said, there's a good chance that he's an Assault Vest type of Bulu, and Sludge Bomb wouldn't then be doing too much to that either way, and the Fire Fang just does more. But yeah, that's basically Crocodile for you, very bulky with the Assault Vest, because Neolego is just way too big of a threat. I need to be able to take a hit even if he has a +1. And for that we have that Crocodile right here. Sadly, like I mentioned, I would prefer having a Berry right there, and not the Assault Vest. But because I can't tell if he's gonna run Dazzling Gleam or Grass Knot, I have to rely on the Assault Vest. One of the problems versus Teambuilding versus him. Next up, we got another Assault Vest dealer. We got our Kyurem-Black with Dragon Claw, Shadow Claw, Iron Head, and Hidden Power Fire. Enough speed. Once again, like I said, it's 139, but it's going to be 140 once the Hidden Power thing goes up, because like I said, we don't have to worry about that. That's everything is going to be hyper trained. And yeah, moveset is very nice. Shadow Claw, it's of course there for the Victini, it's there for the Yuxi, it's there for the Drift Beam potentially, and the Iron Head is there for the Bulu, there for Neolego, there for the Slurpuff. Then we got Hidden Power Fire, mainly there for Fairphone, and then Dragon Claw is my main stab option basically. I was a lot of thinking if I want to have Ice Beam or Dragon Claw, but if I have Ice Beam, then I can't hit the Greninja for good damage. He actually resists all my moves. He lives Ice Beam, his Shadow Claw, his Iron Head, resists Hidden Power Fire. Then I have Dragon Claw, because with Dragon Claw I have to predict a bit more. Ice Beam was a bit more free to click versus him, because he doesn't have too good of Ice Beam switches, and everything that resists Ice Beam doesn't like taking damage as well. With Dragon Claw, like I said, one likely switch on his part is of course the Ferroform, which does resist Dragon Claw. Ice Beam would do way more to that. So I was debating a lot what I want to run. But in the end, I decided to have Dragon Claw over over Ice Beam, because it's something to hit the Greninja. I don't want it to fully wall me, even though it's very not that bulky. With this, it hits, it takes very well. Low kick does way too much with me, because I can see I'm minus defense nature. Then the investment right here, I have actually plus attack nature. That is because so I can 2-hit KO Ferroform with Hidden Power Fire. But you can see I'm still have a higher attack set than special attack set. That's just because Kyurem-Black has such an insane attack set. That's why I have all these physical moves right here and did Hidden Power Fire just for the Ferroform. And then item-wise, I was very torn what item I want to run on this. In the end, I decided Assault is probably the best. Overall, I have a more bulky team versus him. Allows me to take it basically for any special attacker he has. In general, I can take the hits pretty well versus team, because I'm decent bulk investor with 138 right here, and even with minus defense nature, I had 108 right here, which is very nice. It's close to the special attack set I can see right here. So it's basically around the base 90 base defense set, even with a minus defense nature. So pretty bulky. With Soldiers I'm even bulkier, and I can take a hit from a lot of mons, especially Victini. With Victini I can take either way, and then I can Shadow Claw them. Overall, I thought a more bulky approach with Kyurem-Black would be better. I was thinking about Choice Scarfing this thing, but speed tier wise it does not do too well. Likely Choice Scarfers on his part would still outspeed me, like the Lego and stuff like that, or the Victini. And being locked into moves, I rather be able to switch up moves versus a team like his. So yeah, that's a Kyurem-Black for you. And last but not least, we got our Wincon, which is our Cabra, the Cobalion, with Stealth Rock sadly, because the chip has to be Assault Vest. I couldn't really put Stealth Rock on that. But Close Combat and Iron Head does very well with this team. That's why I plan to sweep Cobalion with the Rock Polish Zero tier. I have enough speed here to outspeed the Neolego, even without Rock Polishing, then max attack and a little bit in speed def. And yeah, that's basically Cobalion for you. The only thing which resists this dual stab is the Victini, and so I have to wear that down, and that's what I plan to do with Hazards. That you can see I don't have Defog, I have Hazards, I have Pursuit on this, I have Rocky Helmet on this. Wearing down Victini is going to be the main mission, and then I can potentially late game sweep with Cobalion. Get again the Rock Polish up and then hit stuff super effectively. Hit the Tabudu so effectively, the Greninja, the Neolego. Yuxi I need to wear down as well, but it doesn't resist Iron Head, so a little less than the Victini. Camel Close Combat, Ferroform Close Combat, Zygarde doesn't take any hit. Drifblim, Iron Head, like I said, not really expecting to come. Slurpuff, Iron Head, that's Crafty Close Combat. So Cobalion does very well with this team. I was debating a lot if I want to have Stone Edge over Stealth Rock, so I can hit the Victini, so I don't have to rely on wearing it down a lot. But in general, Stone Edge with max attack versus a no bulk invested Victini does like 50% to less than 50%, so it's not even a guaranteed 2-hit KO. So in the end, I decided to rather Stealth Rocks to wear down said Victini as well, so it helps on its own already, and it helps of course for the rest of the team as well to wear those down for my boy Cobalion to late game sweep. Then I have the Sugar Bear right here, because like I mentioned, his team preserves very specific threat, and right now with the team I have on screen right here, the Zygarde 10% is actually a big threat versus me, and I want to have at least something to surprise him. That's why Sugar Bear and Cobalion allows me to potentially set up versus him, and then I can just kill with Close Combat and stuff like that. Before I had Lurantis right here, but if I had Lurantis I didn't have rocks, and my offense, I wasn't happy with how bulky my team is. I need a bit more offense, and I didn't have a win condition at that point. I had like a lot of bulky mons and a fast Mega Manetric, so I was happy with that, so I want to have added win condition. That's why Cobalion right here, and because I have Cobalion, of course, like I said, weaker to the Zygarde 10%, that's why I have to put a Sugar Berry on that. It helps versus basically nothing else, but the Camel, maybe, if you want to pick Earth Power with me, but like I said, it's mainly there for Zygarde 10%, and then I can, yeah, set up for the basically for me, and then I can Close Combat, Iron Head, all this good stuff. But either way, that is my squad. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Who's going to be the MVP of the match? How is the game going to end? Will we defeat the Philadelphia Scizors? I'm definitely planning on that and looking forward to that. And I hope you are as well. I will see you tomorrow for the match. See you there. Ciao.